In this tutorial, we're going to look at users, groups, permissions, and visibility of contacts, companies, etc. among your users. To add new users to your Clever Team account, you just navigate to the Users and Groups menu in the upper right corner, and here you'll see a list of your current users, and you also have the option to add more users with a simple form where you just need to fill in the first name, last name, and the email address. So I'm going to invite a new user into the system by typing their details and clicking Send Invitation. This sends an invitation by email to the email you've just typed. The users will receive a direct link into the system where they can complete their registration and join your Clever Team account. While you're waiting for them to register, their entry here under Users and Groups will appear grayed out with the words registration pending. You can remove the users by clicking on this X. You can also resend the invitation just in case the user hasn't received the invitation. Sometimes it goes to the junk email. The other aspect of dealing with users is setting their permissions and being able to reset passwords. As an admin, you have this option here. The permissions we currently have are here in this list. One is to set the user as an administrator. That means they'll be able to see every contact, every company, irrespective of the visibility levels you set in other options. It also means that the users can edit, can delete, can export data, can do pretty much everything. You can also control if these users can edit any of the data via this checkbox. You can control whether the user can delete any of the contacts, any of the notes, the companies, etc. via an additional checkbox. You can also control whether the user can export the data. Some of the users that you invite, you might not want them to export data, especially if you deal with outsourcing business partners. So these are the basic permissioning that we have for the users. The visibility of items is the next big topic. All the visibility options are covered in the business preferences section. So if you go in here, there is a business settings. Now, when you create your Clever Team account for the first time, you will see your option, your visibility options are here when you add a contact or a new company or import your data via CSV file. This section, who can see this contact, you will see options everyone or just me. Just me obviously means everything that you add is only visible to yourself. But also other administrators. Administrators can see all the data, including private data. As an administrator, you also have the option to set it visible to only a particular user in the system. This form shows you two levels of access that you get by default when you create your Clever Team account. One is information being visible to everyone in the system. Your other contact is visible to everyone. The other one is visible to a single user, private contacts, private opportunities, private companies, etc. These are the two options that you get by default. You can change this. You can change this in this business settings section. If you look at these few options here, the first one says allow users to add contacts, companies, cases, and opportunities visible to everyone. It is ticked by default. If you uncheck that checkbox, you disable the option to create contacts, companies, and items in general visible to everyone. The other option is to allow users to add private contacts, companies, cases, and opportunities. You can choose to disable this if you don't want users to be able to create private contacts, private companies, etc. Another option is to select for the users to be only able to add private contacts, companies, cases, and opportunities. And again, it's all about how you want to structure your Clever Team account. Do you want the contacts to be visible to everyone? Do you want the users to only be able to create contacts visible to them? You can imagine a setup where each user or each sales user, if you use it for sales, or marketing user, can only create contacts and companies that are only visible to them. And then as an administrator, you will have visibility over what they're doing. You will have a visibility over everyone's contacts, notes, companies, etc. So you might want to choose to only allow your users to create private cases, or you might choose to let them create contacts visible to everyone. Now, if you choose any of these, don't forget to save. It doesn't take effect until you click the Save Changes button. Saved. Now, if I reload this, essentially I've chosen to remove the ability to add private contacts. So if I try to add a new contact, now because the only option selected is visibility to everyone, the whole who can see this contact section disappears because there's only one option the user has. If I create a new contact here, it will be automatically visible to everyone. The section to let you select visibility options is only displayed if you have multiple choices. If you don't have any choice, the section goes away. The visibility option for tasks has its own section, which mirrors the options available for contacts, companies, cases, and opportunities. For tasks, you also have the further controls to select who can edit the tasks. And that's because in certain situations, you want other users to be able to edit some tasks, if you want to be able to transfer tasks from one user to another, and etc. Or you can choose to only have the users who own the tasks be able to edit those tasks. Again, administrators can do all of the editing, all of the reassigning of tasks, irrespective of these settings. Administrators can do all the operations, irrespective of these settings. Now, we haven't covered groups yet. These are covered in the same screen that we've seen before for users. At the bottom of the screen, you have a section for groups. By default, when you create your Cleverteam account, this will be empty. But I will show you how to create groups and add users to them. I will create a group called Sales Users. And I will also create a group called Marketing Users. And I'm going to add some users to them. So I've created a group called Sales Users, which will have only my sales guys. And I've created a Marketing Users group. And this group will only have my marketing users. I chose to place myself in both of these groups. So as an administrator, I can see what's happening, what's being added in each of these groups. I'm going to now add a new contact. When I try to add a new contact, I see now that I have the option to add the contact visible to everyone, or I could choose which group of users can actually see this contact. Of course, that also means the underlying notes attached to the contact, emails, etc. I can choose here. By default, I will get the groups that I'm assigned to. I'm assigned to sales users and marketing users. I could choose to make this visible only to the marketing users. And this visibility indicator here shows me a half-colored block. When I open it, when I click on that lock, I can reset the visibility options for this item. I could choose, for example, to make it now visible to everyone, this contact to everyone, or I could choose to add the sales guys. So now it will be visible to the marketing users and the sales users. Or I can make it visible to everyone. When I make it visible to everyone, the whole lock is grayed out, indicating there's no restrictions around the visibility of this contact and everyone can see it. Going back to the groups, if you think about it, the groups allow you to group users into a group of related users, related by function or by anything else, that will then allow administrator to control the visibility of contacts, companies, cases and opportunities, so that certain items, certain contacts, etc., are only visible to certain users. Administrators can always reassign that visibility from one group of users to another group of users or to everyone, etc. The groups also allow you to run reports around the visibility of items. So it's a very useful feature to control visibility of contacts.